Hey, Steve Mignotti here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with a 1963 Ford Fairlane. Now, we don't want to confuse the Fairlane with the Ford Falcon, which was the compact Ford that arrived in 1960, or at least for the 60 model year. They started building them in 59. Of course, the Falcon was Ford's answer to the Volkswagen Beetle. And of course, Plymouth came out with the Valiant, and Chevrolet, of course, the Corvair, and the compact car race was on. But for 1962, the Fairlane arrived as what they called a senior compact, somewhere between the size of a Falcon and a Galaxy, a little bigger, a little smaller. And these were very popular cars. Now, this 63 is a second-year example of the Fairlane. And it's kind of safe to say that the Fairlane grew, and by 1966 was large enough to accept a big block. The 390 and even the 427 was an option in Fairlane on a handful of cars. And by 67, the Ford Mustang adopted the Fairlane's underpinning, so it too could have a 390 big block option. But with that said, this second-year edition of the Fairlane is radically modified and in a good way. This is what we might call a pro touring example. This one is, for one thing, on the outside, blacked out. A lot of the chrome has been blacked out for a sinister, almost an XR71 vibe. I like it. The hood has a factory-looking, kind of a Boss 302 Mach 1 inspired matte finish on the domed hood area with a little thin line around it. Tastefully done. I believe this is Viper green paint. I may be wrong, but it's pretty darn close. But again, a beautiful example of a pro touring car. But at the heart of every car is the engine, and let's find out what we have here. Okay, yeah, okay. This is a Ford 347 cubic inch small block with aluminum Edelbrock heads and a supercharger. Now here's the thing, if you look right here, my finger's pointing to what we call a cylinder head stud. That means the cylinder heads are held down to the block by studs and nuts, not bolts. Why is that important? Well, the stud has more clamping force on the head gasket than any bolt ever could. And that's important. You don't want the head gasket to suffer or fail when the supercharger is making boost. So when you see a stud-equipped engine, you know it's a serious high-performance type engine. And so again, this 347 small block stroker is supercharged, courtesy of the Vortec blower right there. And like all proper supercharger and turbocharger installations, there is an intercooler right here. And of course, that helps to keep the charge air temperature down low, nice and dense. Rather than pumping heat into the engine, it actually pumps cool air, which is how you make power. There's a Demon carburetor on this one, so it's a blow-through carburetor, but that's cool. This is a scienced-out system from Vortec, and it's the right stuff. It does have a wastegate right here to take care of extra boost. You can tune this if you want to have a little cool sound at the top of each gear. But again, this is still, you know, pretty stock under hood. The spring towers are still here, which is kind of a nice thing. You know, they're a trademark Ford item. In some cases, people will chop that out of there and go with a coil-over type suspension, but not here. It's a nice blend of the original and the improved. The wheel and tire combination on this is pretty cool. These are Axis wheels with big Wilwood disc brakes, front and rear. Good to see that, and just big tires, big wide rubber bands that are very much in fashion. And I love the gunmetal sort of titanium finish on the center spider. It really sets the car off. Now this is a Fairlane 500 Sports Coupe. No fixed pillar here. This rear window goes down, it's wide open here. And again, this is a great example of the Fairlane 500 Sports Coupe. Something kind of cool with this one too, it does have power door locks. Check this out right here. You can lock or unlock the doors. You can even start the engine from the key. Pretty cool. I'll open the door here, take a look inside. And inside, there's the mighty 5-speed Tremec transmission with overdrive and a nice low first gear to make the most of that 347 supercharged engine. The dashboard and steering column have been customized to a degree with chrome plating, and I love how there's a radio delete plate with the 347 emblem to reinforce the idea that the engine is the only soundtrack you need. But with that said, there is a hidden audio system on this car, so it might look like radio delete, but fear not. If you want to hear great music or iTunes, whatever, you can do that with the onboard stereo that the car has. So again, a nice mixture of stock presentation and tasteful mods. And again, the wide wheels in the back here, the Axis wheels, just nicely presented. And again, the Wilwood disc behind it. This one does have a fabricated Ford 9-inch style rear axle, so it's totally ready to handle the horsepower generated by this 347. Leaf springs in the back with Caltrax bars, so no big issues with tire hop or anything like that. Let's take a look in the trunk and see what we find here. Teeth up, or teeth down. It helps to get the right key. Let's see, there's 3 of them to go. Let's try this one right here. Oh, this is like Monty Hall on The Price is Right. Got it. Okay, key out. And yeah, nice presentation. Inside the trunk, the beauty is that these finish panels, they're not factory. These are custom made, but they look good. And there's a bit of a suede insert. And so it's basically show ready inside and out. You know, a lot of cars, you take them to the car show and you say, let's keep the trunk closed. It's kind of gross in there. But this has actually been done as nice as the engine bay or the interior. So a nice level of presentation from front to back, top to bottom. So this car can be purchased with as little as 10% down here at High-Octane Classics. And they do consider trades, late models, customs, daily drivers, you name it. They'll consider it as a trade. That's fine. And they do deliver cars anywhere on the planet you choose. They'll take it to your door. And keep in mind, too, that High-Octane Classics has been in business for about 15 years, and they're always looking for qualified service and sales professionals. If you want to join the team, give them a call at 508-859-4515. And of course, High-Octane Classics, when they sell cars, they also buy cars. And so if you have 1 or 10 or 20 cars, give them a call maybe and see if you can work a deal. But to learn more about this 1963, second year for the mighty Ford Fairlane Senior Compact Dynasty, but this one with some serious Pro Touring upgrades, check it out on the High-Octane Classics website.